So I always, before I want to see what I can support you all with today. I've been in this industry for so many years. Started, teaching yoga at a park in the year, 2005, to now owning the largest yoga conference and trade show in the United States called the Yoga Expo. So I've dipped my fingers and toes into every aspect of teaching and running a holistic business. Owned a studio. I run international retreats. I mean, Shannon just did such a beautiful introduction, but it's something I like to tell people is like, I know business. I don't just, preach. I've lived it. I've bought businesses. I've closed businesses. I've grown businesses. The minute I took over the Yoga Expo, because I purchased, that's when I was like, oh, I'm a big girl. I bought a business. I doubled it. We were getting like 800 people. And then I started getting 1,500 people. And our last one in Los Angeles, we had close to 2,000. So I'm just really passionate about helping conscious health and wellness professionals, achieve their goals. I've been really blessed to be able to have a beautiful lifestyle, to be, now I'm on my way to financial freedom, have investments, and, I'm a mom of a 4-year-old. I manage a lot of things. I have 3 businesses actually, and I'm here to tell you that everything is possible, right? As long as you have direction, as long as you have commitment, and as long as you have your North Star. And let's jump right on in. How does that sound? Okay, you guys have some AI assistants. Also in the chat. Yes. All right, Kathy. I that's not the super focus of today's, but I think a lot of what we're going to focus on will help you grow the studio. I have a lot of yoga studio clients. So the first thing is, if you're going to take the time to teach at a festival, if you're going to take the time to do anything that gives you more exposure, whether it's teaching at another studio or being a guest, even if you're subbing a class, you want to maximize, right? That's the word that, if you guys want to put it in your back pocket, is like, how do I maximize every opportunity that's placed in front of me? How do I maximize my connection? How do I maximize my potential for revenue? How do I maximize my growth? And what's even cooler is that you're not only maximizing, you're doing it from a place of like purpose. You're doing it from a place of love. So it's not just about the dollar bills, right? Those are nice and necessary, as we all know, but you're doing it because you love what you do. And I had a conversation earlier with a potential sponsor to my Yoga Expo, and she was like, "Oh, I used to work in corporate." And I'm like, "I've never worked in corporate. I've had my own business since I was 21 years old. And I know nothing else but living my life, living my dreams, and owning my responsibility of my success." Right? So if that resonates with you, then you're hanging out with the right crew. So when we talk about maximizing the opportunities, let's do, I go from macro to micro. Okay, so you guys will see I talk in circles, but all to get to the same point. Also, I talk fast. So if you have questions, just drop them in the Q&A, because then we'll address them at the end, and then we can keep moving. Okay, so those are like some little house rules. The name of the game is visibility and lead generation. If nobody's seeing you, they don't know about you. If nobody's hearing you, they don't know what you have to offer. If you haven't built trust, credibility, authority, then they're going to be doubtful if you're the right person to invest in. If you see what I mean, you see where I'm going? So the name of the game is visibility and lead generation. Because at the end of the day, to have a business, and I want to say this, business is something that generates you revenue. If not, it's a hobby. So if you want to grow your business, which means grow that revenue month over month, increase your profits, then connection to the leads that you're generating creates sales. That's it. Today, I got a DM from a woman. It was so beautiful to like open up, those messages. And she says, I see you on my feed every day. I get your emails. And now I know this is the next logical step that you can help me with. She's like, I teach yoga one-on-one and I want to start running retreats. I want to, expand my message. And I was like, marketing works, right? She's been on my list that I email consistently. So I want you guys to look at this bigger picture. First of all, like, what do you want in your business, right? What do you want your business to do for your life? I feel like a lot of what I do in business coaching and consulting is like life coaching at the end of the day, because what the ultimate goal is happiness and fulfillment, right? And for me, legacy. I have a little girl, like I shared with you. So I want to make sure that the things that I'm doing now are impacting her life, right? So that's my bigger why. So what is that bigger vision? Have clarity in that, because from clarity comes focus, and from focus come results. So if you are here, it's because obviously you want to, you saw the 10x by teaching at conferences and festivals. Can I tell you guys that this has been one of the biggest ways that I've grown my business? I remember as a yoga teacher, right? Not necessarily, and also as a business coach. I taught at Yoga Journal. I taught at Wanderlust, and I'm throwing out big names at you, but I've taught at the Florida Yoga Fest. I've taught at the Orlando Yoga Conference, things that are not big fancy names like that. And the people that come to my classes have turned into clients. They've come on retreats. They followed me on Instagram. But if you leave it as somebody that came to your class, you are basically cutting off the next logical steps, which is marketing to them in a different way, marketing to them with your offers, with your opportunities, with your programs. And now with the online world, like the sky's the limit, because we don't have to be location dependent. So when I've gone to New York to teach or actually I taught in Germany like a gazillion years ago, right? I went to Germany, taught in Germany, and one of the students there, who is now a good friend of mine, Julia, went on to take my training that I was leading. She flew from Germany to the United States to take a training that I was leading. And then she eventually worked with me as a business coach. This is in 2009. People will work with you because you're consistent and because you're putting the right offer in front of them at the right time for them. Okay. So this is why strategic planning is vital in this journey. This is why strategic planning on who your customers are, what you specialize in, what are your offers, how you're doing your sales is so vital. But I'm going to take one step sideways. It's not back. As a conference owner, because some of you guys are asking probably like, well, how do I even start teaching at conferences? First of all, you have to apply. I always tell this to my clients, like I've had hundreds of clients in my business coaching, and I'm like, are you going to come teach at my expo? They're like, well, I didn't know that I could. I was like, have you applied? They're like, well, I didn't think. And I was like, go to my website and apply. Because if you don't apply, and I'm gonna have you guys raise your hands. If you don't apply, what's always going to be the answer? Or you could drop it in the chat. Right? No, the answer is going to be no. Exactly. Way to go, Timothy. So you have to apply. Start local. Right? Start local. Like, what what types of conferences or local festivals are happening in your, like, I don't know, 50-mile radius. That's what I consider local. I live in Miami, so I'm very lucky. We have a very big city, but let's say that I'm like really committed to getting in front of a big audience. Well, I'm going to start searching. And if that means that I'm going to apply to Orlando, which is 3.5-hour drive, you bet your butt I'm going to drive 3.5 hours if I get accepted. I did a speaking engagement in Tampa, which is about, again, 3.5 hours. A few months ago, I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, drove to Tampa, did my speaking engagement, drove home. When I got a client out of that speaking engagement. So do you see, right? Like, we have to expand horizons and apply, like do research, find the websites, find the conferences, find the person who runs the conferences, write them on, find them on Instagram, find them on LinkedIn, because you're going to increase your chances. And I'll tell you guys how we work at the Yoga Expo, because other festivals are similar. So you can apply on my website and you're going to be in a pool of applicants. What's going to make me, again, pop quiz, what's going to make me pick Kim over Linda, or over Kathy, or over Timothy? This is like the Jeopardy music. Well, not necessarily your Instagram following. I'm going to just be honest with you. That helps, right? Like if I'm connected, yeah, differential. So I need a good title, a good class proposal, an email list. I look for email lists. And then I look for a YouTube video and Instagram. Okay, these are the 4 things that I look at. And experience, 5. Okay, sorry, I forgot about that one. Yeah, Joy. Specific niche. I'm going to take the, Kundalini for, Kundalini breathwork for anxiety over chakra flow any day. So it needs to be different. It needs to be attractive. And then I want to see, because when I look at spreadsheets, I don't look at pictures, I look at spreadsheets. So if I see Joy, right? Joy Murphy, class title, experience 12 years, email list 1,500 people, hopefully a YouTube link, I can then go in and be like, all right, what's Joy up to? I'm going to click on your website. Is it professional? So you want to show up as a professional brand. You want to show up with assets. I always tell people this, like, build your business as if you wanted to sell it to somebody, right? You want assets. What are assets? A brand, following, email list. This is why I gave you guys that lead magnet. Because now, let's say I hire you. Joy is coming to teach at the Yoga Expo, right? Joy signs the agreement, all is well. But again, Joy was in a pool of a ton of people that, maybe didn't get picked. Well, the other way to get picked is called pay to play. I've done this. I've paid conference to go teach, to go speak more than anything. This is way more common in like the public speaking sector than in the yoga teaching. And you're telling me, like, Ari, but shouldn't I get paid to teach? Well, if you're coming to my conference that I just spent $100,000 in between marketing, location, venue, to give you my audience, right, of people that I paid for because I spend, $15,000 on ads. You see what I mean? You can pay to get a spot and have a room of 150 people who didn't know you before, and now they do. So you either apply, you can always like have a table. And again, I'm talking in general. This is not just my conference, but invest in getting a table, because then you say, hey, can I also get a teaching spot? And most likely, because you've now paid the conference, and this might not work with like huge brands like, like I said, like Wanderlust, because a booth at their thing is like $3,000, $5,000. But like at my show, for $500, you can get a booth and potentially, right, and teach. To me, that's a great investment, because now, since you go from yoga teacher to marketer, you change your hats, you go teach your class, and I'm going to share slides in a moment. You generate those leads. You get everybody's email, you get everybody's social media, and you create sales after the fact, or even right then and there. Actually, one of my clients now, Lisa, if you see this replay, I'm super proud of you. She goes to yoga conferences as a vendor, but she's getting clients just by talking to people at conferences, right? She made a huge sale by connecting to one of the yoga teachers. So you never know, guys. Like you really are the source of your income. All right. So I'm going to share some slides. Is this making sense for you all? Okay, I hope so, because it's all true. And give me a second so I can do my little presenting. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you guys can see my screen. I think I should be sharing correctly. Okay, so 10x your teaching via live events and conferences. So why teaching at conferences and events is the fastest way to grow your audience, clients, and expertise. And I promise it is the fastest, because you can also run ads. And let me just check the chat to make sure. Yeah, you guys were all able to see my screen, right? Okay, let me go back to it. Now I lost it. Of course I did. This is what happens when I do this. Come on. Come on, Chrome. Okay. I have to start all over again. Always do this. So Bridget, great question. I dropped a link in the chat, and I can drop it again right quick. This is how you can grow your email list. Okay. And I have more courses and such. Okay, beautiful. So we are good. You guys can still see my screen. All right, you want to maximize your experience and why you need these marketing skills to do so. So this is something I love to do with everybody. It's called your GPS business plan. It's called goal positioning statement. Okay, and you don't have to do this now. I do this in quarterly planning with my clients. So we just did this a couple of weeks ago. But I want you to write down, like, what's your revenue goal for the year? And what do you think are some revenue streams that can come from this, right? Because this gives you clarity on what are the next steps and actions. Again, clarity trumps everything. Okay. Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We're just going to keep going with this. Check me out. I'm a ninja. Okay. This is how we're going to continue. Okay. So clarity gives you strategic decisions. It helps you make strategic decisions. So if you say that my revenue goal for the year is $65,000, okay, and then you say my revenue streams are, teaching weekly classes, leading a retreat, running a teacher training, and my 5-day, immersions and an online course. I obviously just threw a bunch of stuff, but so you guys got an idea. Then you can start figuring out, like, what are some projected sales and how many number of clients. I'm actually going to show you something else that I think would be really fun for you to look at for a moment. This is called my CEO workbook as part of my Business Freedom Accelerator that I work with my clients on. But if you see this, okay, it kind of makes sense to this, right? So you're going to look at this column right here, okay, this one, not the annual. Because let's say that you have a teacher training, okay, we're going to call that TT, and the price is $2,500. And you just say your enrollment goal for the year, you can call this monthly or yearly enrollment goals, okay, is 40 people, then you know that okay, so again, yearly, we're just looking at these columns right here, is $100,000. So just by having 40 people sign up for a teacher training of $2,500, you've hit a 6-figure business. And then let's say that you have some privates, okay? and you charge 111, I mean, it's too cheap. Let's say that you charge $200 for a private, or like 165. Okay. And let's say that you get 15 people, or you sell 15 privates a year, or let's add some more. Let's sell another 40, right? That's another 6K. So you can start breaking down, okay, how people are moving through your GPS so that you know what offer makes sense at what time of the year. You go through your business seasons, okay? So let's say that you have 5 conferences that you're teaching at throughout the year, 4, right? Let's say you come to the Yoga Expo Florida, you come to the Yoga Expo LA, you go to the Orange County Yoga Conference, and one more, because you've decided that this is one of the ways that you generate leads and revenue. So let's say there's 50 to 60 people per class. And then you collect, let's say 60 to 70% of those emails, right? You're now growing a database, and now you are going to keep strategically marketing your offers. Okay, making sense? Oh, hi, this is me. I'll just skip a little bit, because at the end of the day, what you're wanting to do is have this very holistic view of your business, right? You have your big picture vision, and then you start, right, thinking, okay, are conferences and events, right, going to give me visibility? Heck yeah, right? Am I going to make connections? Heck yeah. Am I going to start booking appointments on my calendar? Heck yeah. Is it worth my time? More likely. Is it going to increase? You see what I mean? You start really answering these questions with your like big holistic business. Because when it comes to strategic planning, these are the 3 things that we focus on, right? And I'm going to actually move it to this, and I'm going to jump back and forth. Like I said, I talk in circles a bit, but think of one of these not being an online lead, conference lead. You see that? Then like workshop, maybe you do some ads, like however you're bringing people into your funnel, into your pipeline. We can call this a funnel, a pipeline, however you want, because visibility helps you with your marketing, right? You market to be visible, and then you market to sell. So those are the 2 differentiators of marketing. You market to be visible, and then you market to sell. So again, if we're looking at like business seasons, I have a whole like, it's a mini course. It's like, I don't know, $27, but I teach you like the seasons of business, and how content plays a role. And then I give you a ton of content ideas. So I can share with you guys that as well. So you have marketing, but marketing is all about prospecting and generating leads, right? A lead is a potential customer. So the visibility, you're prospecting up here, then you're generating leads that are potential buyers, because then you go into a sales process so that you can deliver your product, right? So if I'm at a conference and I'm teaching, right? I'm teaching, like one of my, the ways that I became famous was I was an acro yoga teacher. So I was one of the first teachers in the world. I was able to travel, and that's why I was teaching in Germany. I was teaching in South Africa, right? I was teaching in all these cool places. So I would teach the acro yoga. The next logical step was to get people to come to my 5-day trainings. So I would lead these trainings in different cities, different countries. So no matter where, now I would lead them online if I could, if I was still doing that. You see what I mean? So getting people to join your world, you're teaching, but you're also connecting. So I would pass around a clipboard, make sure I get everybody's names, emails, phone numbers. You could put a QR code, and I'll go into that in a minute. You could put a QR code for people to, where is it? Here we go, right? You can have people SMS you, There's a software called Textiful, right? This is getting fancy, but you can even, but it works. I've generated like so many leads because of that. You say, hey guys, everybody take out your phone. Write the number 323232, the word yoga flow. And then boom, it's it automates. So I work a lot with like automation, because why not? Like I who's got time to be doing so much stuff manually? So you could do SMS to register. You could pass around a laminated QR code and be like, scan this and download my, 3-part video series on how to put your leg behind your head. It has to make sense, obviously, for what you do, but right. Or download my ebook on, breathing for higher focus and productivity. Boom, right? If you don't have any of that, I would say, hey, I'm going to pass around my Instagram QR code and just make sure to follow me today. And then I make sure to take a picture with everybody, and then I tag them all. And then I send everybody a DM. Oh my God, thank you, Shannon, for coming to my class. I hope you really, got were able to get in that handstand. Let me know how else I can help. I have this free guide that I created all about handstands. Let me know if you want that, or like, here's the link. Right. So you start your sales process. That's why DMs immediately with the photos. And in theory, all roads lead to the lead magnet, right? All roads lead to the lead magnet, because then you own your traffic. Okay. And traffic is visibility. Traffic are leads. And here's one thing I'm going to share with you guys. Social media, you don't own your traffic. We've seen in the last few years, social media like blacks out for a day or two. And then you're like, oh my followers. When that happens, I'm like, I don't care. I have an email list of like 7,000 people that I've been curating over years. So if social media goes away, I can email everybody, right? So I want you to understand that, like, there's borrowed traffic, and then there's traffic you own, and that's your list. And that list is gold, like gold. Okay. So you're teaching at a conference, right? You're really clear on your customer journey. You're really clear. Your class is all about, Kundalini for higher states of focus and productivity. So most likely you're going to bring in those like type A. I would probably sign up for the class, right? Like type A, high achievers. You're like, boom, I got my ideal audience in front of me, right? And not everybody's your ideal audience in a festival, but you're going to do your best to get those people via your messaging. So boom, you deliver your class. Throughout your class. Okay. And you can use this, like, put this in your back pocket. Throughout your class, you are, and I love me for this. You're going to soft sell. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like throughout this entire last 30 minutes, I've been telling you about my clients and my programs, right? The Business Freedom Academy, my social media, right? Trainings, because why not? Why wouldn't you? And have you felt in any way that I've like stopped my powerful content to present softly? And this is the beauty of like us being business owners and knowing how to pitch and present and connect and market. It's a skill set. Okay? It's a skill set. And I love to teach this. Okay. So things that people have, even in a yoga class, people will have the attention span of an ant. So if you don't have that opportunity, especially let's say I did teach this Kundalini class, people are going to be like, woo, right up here. So if I didn't do my job in the beginning of class to capture their attention, to capture that lead, to connect with them, most likely at the end of class, after Shavasana, when they're like totally blissed out, you're going to be like, oh my God, I have my retreat or I have my program. They're going to be like, oh, that's so nice. And they're going to leave. They're going to leave. And then you're going to have to be like chasing people out the door. Some might obviously stay because that always happens. Those are your hot leads. But you just want to like get yourself, prepped and like checked right at the beginning. Because again, if you have a consistent lead flow system, let's say that festivals and workshops and conferences are like your biggest, right, lead drivers, then oops, this has to actually go this way. Okay. You send them to that irresistible offer, right? And then you have a variety of services and products that you can sell. So that when you're designing, right, your sales pipeline, your funnels, you have, again, that clarity of what you're launching, what does that look like, what specials are you putting out? Again, what season of business are you in? Are you in, I'm growing my email list season? Am I in sales season? Look, sales season is most of the time because, a business that doesn't bring revenue won't succeed. But you can do them simultaneously. You just have to make decisions on like, what am I doing? Like, if I have $200 to spend in marketing, am I going to spend them to a free lead magnet? Am I going to spend them to have someone support me? Right? You see what I mean? We start making decisions based on like where we're at in business. And I had an amazing, when I worked in advertising. I worked at an awesome agency. We handled like, billion-dollar companies like Nature Valley, Betty Crocker, Old El Paso, all this stuff. And my boss said that, I still remember, he said, the best time to market is when your business is booming. Don't wait till your business is like in a lull to start marketing. Okay. So like I was sharing with you a moment ago, the people that are, like, for example, right now, those of you who stay till the end of the webinar and ask me questions and stay for the Q&A and download my, my freebie, you're going to be the people that I'm going to swim to faster. What does that mean, right? You are interested in what I have to do. You're interested in like being part of my community. I'm going to go and approach you. The warm ones, like I'll still approach you, but like there might be a little bit more. You might need to come to like 2 or 3 more webinars. You might need to, register for my upcoming boot camp, like whatever that is. Like you need more time and affinity and trust building before you spend $1 with me. And then the cold people, right? These are the people that maybe will like catch the webinar in a replay, that maybe watch it in like 5 days. Like the journey for them to become hot leads is like way longer, right? Way longer. So you have to nurture your leads accordingly. Like when we talk about income generating activity, like this is where that income generating activity lies the most, in the hot market. So that like the types of results that you want to expect is that you get more emails, you get more followers, you get more awareness, you have easier sales for more revenue. Okay. How's this? Is this all making sense to you all? Okay. Let me see. Yes, great. Oh, hi, Ava. All right. So let's keep moving. All right, Linda, beautiful. Kim, yes. Diego, vamos, Sky. Okay. I'm Peruvian, guys, so my Spanish is gonna come out. So your customer journey. Map this out. Actually, like I would screenshot this, I would print it, or I would write this down on your notebook. And what is that? What happens? Like, let's say this is my scenario. Okay. You guys are all going to follow me on Instagram. Okay, ari.bizcoach. Let's do that. Let's do that exercise. You're all going to follow me on Instagram. Number 1. Number 2, you're going to see what happens when it's not automated. This is Ari here going to be like, okay. So the minute, let's say, Diego starts to follow me or Sky, I'm going to connect with you and I'm going to start a conversation with you, because why wouldn't I? Right? So I have my, let me share, let me see. You guys are going to get some of my ninja skills, but why is it? Yes. Check this out. Okay. So my customer journey looks like this. I have a IG follower. Okay. And I probably won't do it immediately because I'm obviously presenting, right? You follow me on Instagram. I'm going to send you a DM. I'm going to ask you some questions. I have my questions already saved. Okay. Thank you. I'm just seeing your guys' messages. Okay. I already have my questions set up so that I know how to navigate, right? I put these in a note. So I have my DMs. Then, based on your answers, okay, like think of this as a mind map, like, or as a flow. I'm either going to send you like a freebie, lead magnet. Like, let's say that one of my questions is like, oh, what are you looking to do? Are you looking to run retreats? Are you looking to, grow your online business, do courses? Based on your answer, I'm going to send you a lead magnet. I have my like yoga retreat starter kit. I have that 25 lead magnet idea or whatever, right? Then I'm going to invite you via now you're in my email list. Okay. So you're going to get some automated stuff. That's definitely going to happen because that's the way I roll. And by the way, guys, I have a software that like makes all this so much easier that I just launched. So I'll tell you all about that. I'm going to invite you to either like a webinar or a boot camp, right? Because I do these often. I love presenting webinars and boot camps, and they work. Okay, they work, paid and free. Okay. And then at some point, I'm going to make you an offer, right? That offer, I always have my value ladder. Could be my core offer, which is either my business vinyasa and evolved digital CEO program, or upsells, downsells, right? You need me to do your marketing for you as an agency? Wonderful. This is how we work. You want to do it all yourself? Great. This is my option. So I've created a very strategic roadmap of how people work with me. Is it a course? Is it one-on-one? Is it group? Because the last thing I want is for you to walk away unsupported. Because if we look at sales is service. Because if, Diego or Kim or Bridget, right, grow their email list, launch an online course, launch their first, maybe you're like, Ari, I don't want to teach at other conferences. I want to do my own conferences. Great. I can help you create your own conference, right? Because I know that you're going to win. Like today, my client Meredith announced in our group call that she sold out her retreat, 15 spots to Roatan. And like we all cheered for her. And I'm like, yes. So her working right with me has created like a huge milestone for her. So look at sales as service. Okay. Because I always like to make sure that when you're looking at your customer journey, that you're mapping it out so that it ends up in revenue for you to do whatever you want with it. I don't care if you want to donate it or if you want to, buy your dream home or fix your car, whatever. We all need money for it. But if it's coming from a place of integrity and love and authenticity, like so much better, right? You know that money is moving in the right direction. So what do we need for all this? 3 things: a landing page, right? Like, check it out. Right, where is it? Here. Okay. Landing pages. Here's it is. You can have your webinars, right? Your boot camps. You can have your lead magnets. Where did my lead magnet go? Right? You can have paid workshops, your marketing, whatever, right? You start creating your workshops, you start creating your online opportunities, which can serve for in-person stuff as well, okay? So this is not crazy hard to do, especially like I said, I give you guys all this type of stuff. But you need a landing page. It could even be on your website, even though I don't recommend it. You can start it on your website. You need some ideas and a calendar and a camera so that when you are, right, you taught at the conference, or you even applied at the conference, you showed somebody your YouTube video, you showed them that like you have a professional website. And I love websites with videos on them because then people get to connect with you. And then you need some graphics. You need a nice logo, simple, right? Like Canva is your best friend. You see, like this is Canva, 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 Canva. Like so many ways that, you know, you can make simple things look really beautiful. Okay. And then you need your social media account. You can use a software like the one I just launched, Arise, which has email marketing automations, funnels, sales pipelines, and Canva. That's it, right? So you spend all your time and energy applying for these for conferences. You spend all your time and energy, you know, teaching, and you spend, you know, maybe some marketing budget, like some ads, you know, getting stuff out there so that you take ownership of your sales process. You send emails. Like I have my clients starting podcasts, and it's all quite simple, but we need order. We need order. That's why that customer journey is so important, because that's going to direct where you start now noticing gaps in your business. Ooh, how am I going to send somebody a way to join my email list if I don't have an email list? Meaning I don't even have a software that captures a lead. Boom, let's get that problem solved. Okay. Ari said to, you know, do a QR code to a lead magnet. I don't have something that can help me grow my email list. Okay, let's solve that problem. I feel like business is like solving small problems throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, because those small solutions create big results. Okay. All right, let's keep moving. I told you guys I talk fast, but I hope this is landing all well. Okay, so we already talked about that. We already talked about that. And then, yeah, like, look, I don't know why you guys showed up today. You know, maybe you're frustrated, maybe you're inquisitive. You've, you know, heard all the buzz about like, you know, growing your business using online and offline strategies. Maybe you just wanted to hang out with me. But here's my thing, like this, right? I can tell you guys all about my programs. I can tell you all the ways that I can, you know, that you can work with me. And if you are interested, drop me a DM in Instagram, drop me a thing here. I'll connect with you afterwards. But this is your magic word. This, start doing, or your magic phrase. Stop dreaming, start doing. Because if the number one thing that is preventing you from applying at conferences because you're saying like, oh, I don't have my website, I don't have a brand, I don't have all these things that Ari says that I need, let's get them done. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long to put together a lead magnet. It doesn't take long to put together a landing page. It doesn't take long to go online and search for any yoga festival and conference. You can put one, that this one's a little bit harder, but you can put your own yoga festival and conference on, right? Like these things are not hard. You know what's hard is us getting out of our own heads and us getting out of excuse zone. That's the hardest part. It's saying, I don't know how to do that. Okay, well, how do we solve that problem? Well, what if they don't, right? What if nobody accepts my application? Well, start saving up some money, go buy a booth. go buy yourself a spot at the next conference. You see what I mean? Like there's always a solution. I love Marie Forleo. If you guys don't know her, she's an amazing business coach. And she wrote a book called Everything is Figure Outable. Everything is figure outable. There is no reason why your business is stagnant. Right? I tell people like, do you have $100, $200 a month to spend on ads? They're like, no. And I'm like, well, what are you spending your money on? And then sometimes like, oh, I went to Starbucks 3 times this week, or I went out to dinner with my friends. Like I have my clients make lists when they're like, oh, I don't have a marketing budget. So Diego says so many studios. Okay, yeah, great. I love that this is actually a great problem that you're teaching at so many studios. How many people are in front of you on a daily basis? Right? So think about that. How many people are in front of you on a daily basis? So map out that customer journey. That's going to be, 30 plus people. Can I tell you, I wish I sit in my office alone and then I go hang out with my 4-year-old. I rely fully, but I chose this, right? Like I rely fully on an online business, which is so much harder. I wish I had 30 people in front of me. I'd probably be a millionaire right now. Okay. So if you have 30 people, what is that next logical step? So I hear that, you need the website. Great. Let me drop the link to my software so you guys can check it out. But because I give you like a ton of templates, but at the end of the day, what you want is to be clear on your goals and clear on what you want in terms of your lifestyle. Because then the next logical step is creating a business model that fits that lifestyle. I have a book on Amazon called The Abundant Yogi. Yeah. And so I say, like, when I had a yoga studio, I was like high functioning depressed because my number one core value is freedom. Number one core value is freedom. And the yoga studio, I felt like the walls were like closing in on me. And then the minute I moved into an online business and having my couple of shows a year, I doubled my income. Like I hit 6 figures like this. And I don't say that to boast or brag. I say that because it's true. It took me 6 months to go from like 50, 60,000 K to about 100, 120,000. Because I started leading online programs. I started creating my funnels. I started, right? Like I did the work. I invested into a business coach. I moved fast. I don't move slow. Like my life does, like I ain't got time for slow, right? I'm not saying you guys need to be like me, but create momentum with clarity. You're like, this is where I want to go. Like, should I take the scenic route? Well, the scenic route is nice sometimes, but like, let me actually be able to stop at the scenic route and enjoy it. So let me go through the highway, get to where I need to go, do the things I need to do so that, right, I can hang out in the scenic route. I can chill. And I've created a lifestyle where like I was in Nicaragua last week. My husband was surfing. We also all got food poisoning, but that doesn't matter. Like I was able to take a call from my bed and support my clients. And then somebody bought my online course and that was amazing. Okay. Yeah, you're tired. I hear that. Yeah, start doing yes, I believe that Mar, you're gonna get the recording. Yeah, I hear you. So why don't we do Q&A? And then obviously, Linda, create my website. How many classes should I have posted? After I create my website, how many classes should I have posted prior to marketing? Can you be a little bit more clear about that, Linda? I don't understand. Do you, if you're just starting your business, meaning you just started teaching, or you're starting like a new part of your business? Okay. So Kathy, great question. I have my website and I have my landing pages. So if you guys, okay, Linda, so you have been teaching. Okay, great. So for example, right, I was sharing with you guys. So my website, this is my website, not this, but give it a minute. Okay, this is my website. My website, I don't really touch. It's there, it's beautiful, all the great things. You have your blogs, you have your services. I don't really touch this. I'll update, my podcast. The Instagram will show up, but that's about it. I don't bother with my website because it's there and it's lovely. When I'm actively marketing stuff, I build my landing pages. So for example, if I have this is the wrong one. Okay, so I taught a workshop, okay, a couple of weeks ago. I built the landing page for that workshop. Why? First of all, when you're on my website, there's a lot of escape routes. You can read about me, and then you're like, ooh, and then you get a phone call and you're gone, right? Or you're like, oh, let me see how we can work together. But I'm not going to be updating my website with like every webinar that I have, with every like paid online workshop, with every online course. Like I just don't have, right? It's not the most time efficient. So I build funnels for things because then I can share a very specific link, right, to my list. And like I was sharing with my clients earlier, I decided to build an online business correctly. Like one of my clients was saying, oh, like what if we do our landing pages on Canva? And I'm like, well, then you're building a business with band-aids. And I don't want to do that. I want to build a business that's solid, right? So I invest in the software. Like I told you guys, I actually, funny enough, when I launched my online business, and Shannon, you probably don't know this, beYogi was my first partner that they sent an email to their list, just like we're doing today. And I got my first 2 customers because of beYogi, but we didn't send them to my website to register for the webinar. I built a landing page and they signed up for my, and I grew my list by like, I don't know, it was like 100 people, but I got my first 2 customers. If I had sent them to my website, most likely I would have had 20 people join. You know what I mean? Because they've, again, so many escape routes. So I like focus, laser. Yeah. Oh, Kristen, this is amazing. Thank you. So the answer is yes. Okay, great. Long answer, but yes. Any other questions? I know, okay, so Linda, how many classes should to start marketing? So I still want to clarify this. How many classes should you have posted on your website before marketing, or are you selling an online course? Because that'll direct my answer a little bit better. And I'll wait for you. I think Shannon wants to pop in. Okay, you want to sell an online course. So are the classes part of your course? I think the answer is yes. Here's my secret: sell it first and build it later. Because the last thing you want to do is film a bunch of classes, edit them, and then start marketing. Market, 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 sell, 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 then deliver. You saw that as because if that means that you're not going to sleep for 2 days because you're now having to deliver to your first paid customer, your first 5 paid customers, I'm not going to sleep for 3 days. But if I spent 40 hours and a bunch of money filming, editing, right, building this online course, and then nobody buys, I'm going to get sad, I'm going to cry, and I'm not going to want to do it again. I hope that answers. And that's exactly how I did it when I launched my business. I had a course called Business Vinyasa. I had module 1 recorded and I dripped it. So it was a weekly, right? These two ladies bought it. They were able to do module 1 for that week. What did I do? Filmed module 2, filmed module 3, so on and so forth. I hope that answers.
Awesome, Arianne. So I'm just going to hop in. I'm not sure if we saw this question from Bridget. She said, I don't
Oh,
have an email list. What kinds of tips do you have for building content in emails?
yeah. So if you don't have a list, then we don't know what we're going to send them, right? But blogs. So here's things that you can send your list. I would say 60% value, 40% sales. Keep that as kind of a rule of thumb. Okay. I always have some sort of a like sales call to action in my emails, like on the bottom. But how do you grow your list? That's the magic. So think of your business as a conveyor belt. One conveyor belt is always growing your list, right? And that's through a freebie. Like I dropped that freebie for you guys, the 25 lead magnet. And like that one, I have several. So you're doing this, growing your email list, and then you're down here, you're marketing to your list. You're sharing content. You're sharing content on Instagram. So the lead magnet, well, just because you build it doesn't mean that people are automatically going to sign up for it. Just so you know, you can run ads to it. You can share it on your stories. You can put it as the link in your bio. No, you can't do that. Okay. Okay. Lots of different ways that you can do this. Okay. I hope that makes sense.
Awesome. Were there any other questions that we wanted to put in the chat?
Let me see. I think one person. Currently, I'm using Squarespace. Transition to XY. No, don't switch your website providers. That's wasted time. Wasted time. There's better things you can do than switching your website from one platform to the other. And I don't know if it's because you're trying to save money, but I think the difference is like $10 a month. Squarespace is actually better than Wix. Just saying. So no, I wouldn't do that. Okay, awesome. I also dropped my calendar in there for those of you who are wanting to learn more about my programs. You could just click, make an appointment. Of course, thank you, Diego. Thank you, Dagmar. Thank you, Shannon, and everybody
Cool.
from beYogi. I look forward to doing more of this.
Yes, thank you so much, Arianne, for coming on to the beYogi webinar series again. A lot of amazing, amazing information. Just a reminder, the recording will be sent via email. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in.
Bye.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.